Hey guys, it's Ray with the education team from Swirly Kit Club, and today I'm going to share with you a layout that I'm working on, and I'm going to be using the March kit. My inspiration for this layout is this picture. It's actually a postcard that I scanned, and it's of this weird place that I went to in Iowa many years ago. It's called the Grotto of the Redemption. It's a religious tribute, and it was very strange, but I really like the postcard. I didn't get this when I went there, but I found it online, and so I bought one. I thought it was pretty cool. So I thought the engraver line would go really well with this. So basically it's going to be a virtual anatomy instead of doing like pictures and stuff. I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. So I've started with a lot of layers because that's how I like to do it. And this is from the cardstock add-on. It's the gray sheet. And then I use this sheet from the main kit. And I didn't cut any off of it, and I've used the Zutter to deeply distress all of these, but I gutted the paper so that I could use that for something else. And what I did is I used my trimmer and I just cut on the 10s and the 2s. So just to show you if you've never seen anyone do this before. Well, most people have, I think. What you do is you pull this out and you line up your paper. You can do it with 11 and 1s too, but I like 10 and 2. You can do 10 over here, and you do not set this down for your blade, but you find 2 and you go all the way to 10, and then you lift this back up and you go all the way around. So anyway, that's how I cut out the square from that. Because I'm layering, I just don't need that. I can use it for something else. I like to get as much out of my papers as I possibly can. So then I have this Authentique paper that's also from the main kit, and I cut that down. I took a 1/2 inch off of 2 sides, and I just heavily distressed that. And I did use frayed burlap on the lighter colored papers. I didn't do any sort of inking on the black. You can if you want to, I just didn't feel like doing it. So this is actually not from here, just to be clear about that. I cut this from the other sheet because I get the pattern paper add-on. And I used the Martha Stewart circle punch, and it wasn't exact because this was a scrap and I cut it out, so you can kind of see that there's some parts that aren't perfect, but that's okay because I'm going to crumple it up. And so that's my other layer. And then I have this. I'm actually lifting myself. I did a layout last July. It was a wintry layout, and I really just wanted to repeat. Sometimes I like to lift myself. So then I have this circle that I cut out using my Cameo, and it is an 8-inch circle, and I put an 8-inch circle and then I put a 7.5-inch circle inside of it, so it's a 1/2 inch ring. So it's going to go like that. And then I've got some scraps that I thought I would make some photo mats out of. And I'll have to play around with that a little bit to see how exactly I want that to go. I think that's going to be good. Okay, and then I have this die cut from Memory Box. Okay. And I've cut it out using some of the gray cardstock. And it's probably going to go somewhat like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do the layout after I tell you about what I think I'm going to do. And there, of course, there might be something different because I never really know what I'm doing. I don't like to commit and say, yes, I'm going to do that, because it just kind of depends on how it looks to me. So I'm going to be adding some flowers and some ribbon and some other things. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to glue down all of my layers. Okay, so that's my basic layering background. And I want to add this piece right here, but I think it would look really awesome if I put a piece of trim back here. So I'm going to use a piece of lace. And this is just from my stash. And if you haven't done this before, this is kind of an important step if you're going to put some lace on the back of anything. It will really help you out if you cut it with a pair of scissors on the larger line, the part that's going to be covered up. So I'm going to put it back to where it looks like that. And it's not going to be even, and it's going to be kind of hard to stick, and it will come up with the glue if I don't do that. So I finished my flower arranging. That always takes me a lot longer than I want it to, so I decided that I would not videotape that because otherwise it would just be a bunch of fast forwarding of me screwing around with it. So I'm almost done. There's just a few more things that I want to do to the layout, and then it's going to be done. I'm using this. We got this in a kit a long time ago. It's a piece of chipboard, and it was a company called Unique Pages, and now they've changed their names. I think someone bought them out, and it is called Leaky Shed Studios now, and you can still get this piece if you don't already have it. So what I did is I scraped StazOn in Timber Brown over it, and I didn't do all of it. I didn't want to have the whole thing covered in that brown. And then what I did is I added just randomly some Distress Stain in the tarnished brass. What I love about this stuff is it's going to dry right away. There's no dry time for paint. And he's going to go right here. So I'm just going to glue him down. And last month we got these resin pieces in the kit. They're crosses. So I'm just going to leave it white. I'm not going to do any sort of treatment to it, and I'm going to put it right there. And the last thing I'm going to do is we got these nail heads in the main kit from Prima, the Junkyard Findings, and I thought those would look nice bordering the black circle. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Alright, so that's it. It's done. And I'll have a picture up there so you can see it better. And thanks for watching.